Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good morning, Philippines. You're watching the Business Portal, your gateway to health, beauty, trends, and opportunities. I'm your host, Dr. Jan Seneca for What's Up, Doc? And what a very cold morning, because Christmas time is coming, and we have only like several days now for the 25th day of December, which is Christmas. Okay, so before anything else, I would like to introduce to you my co-host, no other than my daughter, Dr. Jonah May Seneca.
Hello.
Hello, good morning,
Hello,
Jonah.
Dr. Seneca, and good morning, Philippines. And again, welcome to What's Up, Doc. And it's another very, very, very interesting episode.
You're right,
now.
Doctora. And actually, we have three personalities right now coming from different countries, from Canada, US, and of course from the Philippines.
Yes.
Yes, and what happened last time, because I was not here because I was in Korea, and we were talking about, thread leaf, and maybe one of these days we'll be talking about this kind of procedure, which is a non-invasive procedure for the facial lifting. And of course, let's say mga fine wrinkles, we would be talking about
Dr.
that.
Seneca, you always specialize in, the latest technologies.
Yes, and
in cosmetic surgery.
For the Korean, they have really a big market in this kind of procedure, especially in cosmetic surgery and non-surgical procedures. But right now we have three beautiful ladies.
Pero still connected pa rin with beautification inside and out.
Right, and we need this is an everyday thing to us.
Yes,
our topic is all about health, beauty, and wellness. And if you have any questions, you can text us at 0922-891-6761. It's right there on your screen. And
if you want to join our discussion,
join our discussion,
comments or
right?
questions.
Correct. And please indicate your name and your location, where you are right now. Okay? Very important yan kasi ang ganda ng topic natin ngayon.
Sigurado mo pa babae, mapalalaking audience.
Non-surgical, and it helps you in wellness and to become beautiful,
and
to become healthy.
The very important, your personality.
There you go. We have an image consultant guest. But before anything else, we would like to introduce to you the US licensed sports medicine therapist, no other than from Georgia, Washington.
Atlanta,
Georgia. I'm sorry, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. No other than Miss Marlu Matthew.
Hi,
Miss Marlu.
Good morning, Mrs. Matthews.
Yes.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Very good.
It's so nice to have you here, Mrs. Matthews.
Thank you. And I would like to greet everybody. Good morning, Philippines. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes. It's going to be your first time here, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. We'll be talking about how to cure somebody who was injured or somebody who was like a very athletic person
and
who
even,
wants to prepare their body
them, for
sports. Okay. The next is I can say a wellness interventionist.
Yes, malalaman natin kung ano ba specifically talaga tong wellness interventionist.
Yes. And she's my classmate. Yeah, of course. In AIM. Huwag na ako anong course. Kung meron tayong Rica Puno, and she is Rica Puno.
Miss Rica Puno.
Hi, Miss Rica.
Very interesting name.
Hi,
and
Rica.
Interesting profession.
Yes.
Very.
Next is the owner of Victoria Abraham Image Consultancy. Yes, kailangan natin yan kasi you have to have a nice image. Parang yung motto ng Jansen, yung your image is our concern.
Yes, exactly. Kaya you guys would work hand in hand talaga eh.
There you go. And we have here Miss Victoria Abraham
Good morning,
Good
Miss Victoria
morning.
Abraham.
from the Philippines.
Thank you.
I know,
Thank you.
later on, kasi merong Miss Earth International
Miss Earth
Beauty
International
pageant. Later will be at around 7 o'clock and it will be telecast tomorrow.
Yeah.
Late telecast tomorrow. And we'll be going there.
Yes, we will be
And
attending that
I'm also
pageant.
inviting you to watch the Miss Earth International. And ang daming magaganda. There are like 90 beauties all over the world. And I was one of their judges 2-3 nights ago in their bikini contest. Talagang hindi ko malaman kung sino yung parang lahat panalo eh. You know? They're from, ang nanalo ay si Miss Ukraine.
Oh.
Yes. They visited also Jansen. It's on our Facebook.
Dapat pala before the pageant, they should have consulted our guests pala.
Oo nga eh. Dapat pala
Very
pumunta muna
important
sila.
yun.
No? So anyway, our topic is all about health, beauty, and wellness.
Yes.
So let's ask Miss Matthews here. You know you are a U.S. licensed practicing sports
therapist.
injury therapist. Napakaganda naman yan. Kasi wala pa sa Pilipinas yata yan.
Bihira.
And how do you prepare an athlete before the game to undergo that kind of therapy that what you're saying right now, or you're professional?
Well, usually we suggest to them to have a really nice bath, and then when we have them in a therapist, we will consult what concerns they have. But if it's just they're gonna go out to play, then mag-aano muna kami ng warm-up.
Warm up.
Very
Okay.
important
Very
i-warm up mo
important.
muna ang muscle. In every part of the body ng muscle, kailangan yan. And also, yung kung saan yung mga trigger points. And also, very important, like the anatomy.
Anatomy is very important.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and the connective tissues, and so the nerve also.
Right.
So those kind of things that we.
It's very different. This kind of massage is very different from the massage for like a non-athlete. Am I right?
The
Yes.
regular
It's
massage
very
that
Yes.
we're having it here in the Philippines.
Yes. Yes.
So is this like more of there's only a certain particular area where you
Yes.
do massage,
Yes.
like for example, if you're a football player, kailangan paalang, ganun ba yun? O
Or not
if
really.
it's a football player, usually they're having like a hamstring problem, the
Right.
back of the legs.
Right.
And usually that's really connected in your gluteal, like the buttocks area. So, and of course your QL. And most, they're calling it groin muscle, which is the adductor muscle. So for them, that's very, very important
Yung
to
sa bandang
stretch.
inner thighs po ito.
Inner
Inner
thighs,
thighs.
yeah.
Yes. So it's very important for them to, really stretch also. And of course, the massage is number one. I call it a lazy stretching.
maybe
So-
later on we will talk about what part of your hands are you using in, let's say, this particular area of muscles.
I use a lot of elbows, especially for big guys.
Oh,
and
especially in
yeah.
the States, no? Because
Yes.
laki nila, no?
Yes.
And they're really,
Yes.
Could you say that, whenever you do massages for athletes, maybe before their game, does it help them somehow, like to be more confident in the game, like during the
Absolutely.
game? Unlike if, you don't do warm-up massages, are they more confident after?
Absolutely, because it gives them a lot of energy. When you have that massage, there's a lot of things going on in our body.
Right.
It's energizing and clarity of your mind. I mean,
Yeah, it's
just
very important.
everything. Yeah, when you're in the sports, you have to be quick
Right,
in a
right.
lot of things. So,
So,
I mean, really,
you're
a lot
more
of people.
confident if
Yeah, a
you're
lot of people
warmed
doesn't
up.
think it doesn't, but really, it's got a lot of help.
Right.
Yeah.
And
With their
speaking of confidence, after confidence naman ng mga athletes,
yeah.
paano naman yung confidence ng mga, let's say, business people?
Yes. Okay.
Dito naman tayo malipat naman tayo sa ating image consultant
Image consultant si
naman.
Miss
Oh,
Vicky
sabi ko sa'yo, connected
Abraham.
talaga lahat
Oo nga
eh.
eh. image is very important. Sabi nga sa amin, yung motto ng Johnson is your image is our concern. Kasi it's not, image, you say image is a very broad term.
Yes.
And it's like a holistic approach. It's not only like, for example, oh, I need only a beautiful face. How about the body?
How about the personality?
How about the personality?
And
How will
especially
project?
Confidence.
Yan. Tsaka it's more of projection yata yung
True, it's
image
true.
building, eh, no? Miss Abraham, so how did you started muna being an image consultant?
Okay, as an image consultant, I started primarily with being a designer.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I had my own shop, and I designed, after which I designed for a department store here in the Philippines, a high-end department store. And basically, aside from that, I was also into seminars. So we were really into life enhancement seminars.
Okay.
And that is basically how I started in the image consultancy business. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is image consultancy, is it just the same as being a life coach, or it's totally different?
Yeah.
Or you can say, it's kind of similar.
Well, since image is so broad, image consultancy actually can include life coaches and business coaches.
Oh, wow.
So basically, the reason why I say I'm also a business coach is because of my background in business. I'm really an entrepreneur in the fields of advertising, banking, and marketing. So I help people in the fields that I had just mentioned, and part of it, of course, is the image that they want to project, personally and also corporate-wise.
Yeah. Do you have to, let's say, when you say projection, let's say if you are a businessman and you are a doctor, is it really kind of different projection that you have to show to your clients or to your patients? Is the way how you sit, siyempre, the way how you dress up? You know, is it a totally different?
Yes, very different.
What sector of life are you involved to?
Yeah, well, definitely very important. For example, as doctors, you need to wear your coats.
White blazers.
Yes, you have to wear white. However, if we are to put that in the business perspective, anyone wearing white in the boardroom will actually not be noticed.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
so it comes with the profession. So,
Okay.
of course, wearing that white coat, whether you are in the urban areas or whether you are servicing the rural areas, you have to put that white coat. Because it immediately establishes the professionalism, the impact that you have on your client.
Of course,
So if I'm going to say something about your profession and if you would like to enhance your image, I will definitely have to tell you, okay, this is your profession, this is what we should be doing. On the other hand, if we are going to the boardroom, business side of it, then definitely we have to use a different image color. So we need to use the blacks, the grays, the navies, like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions for Miss Biggie kasi number one, siyempre, yung color combination is very important.
Yeah, it's
also.
very
It's
important.
important.
Yeah.
Kasi sabi nga nila, if you have to have a nice dress, you must have the right color for the right weather, for the right place,
Yes.
you know, and of course for the right meetings, you know.
Yeah.
And let's say, for example, sabi mo, if you are in the boardroom and you're wearing white, what is
Or
this
black
guy
or
doing
dark color.
Darker
inside
colors.
the boardroom? Di ba?
Yeah.
Oo. Okay, alam mo, having an image is very important, but of course, the build is very important
course.
also. So, let's say, kinakailangan medyo magre-reduce tayo ng weight tayo. Anyway,
Para
so,
maging maganda rin ang image natin, dapat kaaya-aya din and very, kumbaga, healthy and
look.
well din tayo. Healthy
look.
looking.
Not only looking, but the way how you do it is
Yes,
very
of
important.
course.
Oh, we have here a guest who is a a wellness interventionist. Through her own experience, she learned a lot from wellness. And we have here Miss Rica Puno.
Miss Rica
Okay.
Puno.
Rica, I know when I met Rica, sabi niya, I was like, what, 20 pounds heavier.
Oh, wow.
60 pounds.
60 pounds heavier. Konti pala, no? 60 pounds heavier than sabi niya, than my body right now. Sabi ko, how did you do that? And during the time, you know, you lose like 60 pounds in your body, and napakahirap noon. No?
Oo.
And then, naging career niya na rin. And then, after that, marami nang nag-consult sa kanya ng mga kaibigan, friends, and parang naging business na rin yata yung weight reduction. Rica, can you tell something about that particular portion of your life? What happened?
When you were 60 pounds heavier.
Yeah, and what
Sige.
triggers you to lose some weight? You know, and how many years have you carried that 60 pounds?
Well, growing up, I was really involved in a lot of sports. So I can relate with that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And since I moved to Canada, I was 13. And then I started playing all these different sports. And when I graduated university, that's where everything was different, because you go into the real world. You don't just have school and have time to play sports and have time to do everything. So you really have to find a balance as to what you need to do. And you need to set your own schedule.
Okay.
Because with any business, with any regimen, with any routine, if you don't plan ahead, that's when you set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I had to kind of overcome in a way, because, you know, when you graduate from university, there's a lot of stresses and pressures towards making money, towards doing all these things, but it's not just about the money, it's not just about what job you have. It really comes down to who you are, who you want to be, and then everything kind of comes into place.
Right. Of
So,
course.
I mean, you're 60 pounds heavier during that time after your graduation in college?
Maybe a little when I was working already.
Yeah, okay.
It
And
kind
then
of slowly
what
creeped up.
triggers you to, okay, I want to lose some weight? So, how did you start on that?
What was that time in your life
Yeah.
when you realized maybe I should
And you were in
lose a little
Canada,
weight?
and you know the food there are really rich in calories, sugars.
And very good. Not just rich in
and takes
calories. They're very
you know.
good.
So how do you, there's a lot of temptation, of course,
Yeah.
you know, it's more of, sa kanya kasi it's more of parang mental healing, no? You have to start disciplining yourself. Discipline is very important.
Actually, funny enough, the time that I actually gained a lot of weight was when I was a personal trainer at a gym.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird because the hours are really long. There's so many people you have to help. And it's hard to manage your time to be able to cater to what my body really needs.
Okay.
And to be able to help other people, you really have to work on yourself.
Of course.
So I kind of struggled with that. When I was working in the gym, so many people wanted me to help them, but I'm like, well, I can't help you because I can't even do
Help
it myself.
Yeah.
Right.
So they were, starting to question what I would do. So one day I just figured, okay, I'm gonna set a time for myself to do things that I need to do for myself before I help other people. So I started up with getting up early, working out, preparing my own meals, like, not eating out so much.
It starts in the mind, right?
It starts in the mind. Yeah, and a lot of my friends, a lot of my clients, it's so hard to help somebody if they don't want to help themselves.
Of course.
So they have to come to that point to make the decision that they want to make a change. And then when that's in their mind already, then I step in and say, okay, so what are you willing to do? So little by little, I take things away from their lifestyle that are unhealthy and then add in substitutions or something that they can do that's healthier that will help them. So in a wellness standpoint, that's where I come in. Like, I look at all the different aspects of it.
So we've created this concept. It's called a wellness interventionist. In your point of view, what can you say? Like, what do you guys specifically do?
Okay.
What does a wellness interventionist do?
Yes.
Okay, so I said, as I mentioned, there's different dimensions of wellness.
Okay.
So I actually started my business when I was 19. I started out with little kids. Because
Oh.
little kids, they have a schedule. So it's
Yeah.
easier to implement it with the kids. But what I realized was it wasn't the kids that were the problem, it was the parents.
The parents.
The parents.
And then in turn, it was the individual, because parents are together also, right?
Yeah.
So I had to figure out what I did for myself and help somebody else. So as a wellness interventionist, you look at the 5 dimensions of wellness. So there's physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and social. Actually, there's more now. It keeps getting bigger now. So now there's even vocational and financial.
Yes.
So it even goes with, with what
I
we're
know,
talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Three of you guys are actually
There's
connected to each
interrelationship
other.
between
Yes.
Yeah,
between image
definitely.
consultancy, even weight reduction,
Yes, right.
and sports medicine therapy.
Yeah, and that's very
You know,
important for the
can we show the
sports.
picture of Miss Rica before?
Okay, let's see her before.
Can we take a look of the pictures? Because she brought some pictures.
When you were 16.
That's her.
Okay.
Wearing the
That
shirt.
was you.
Yeah.
We were hiking.
That's your mom, right? Yeah,
Yeah, we were hiking.
Beside you.
How much weight did you had that?
Wow, look at that.
See?
I
Look at
was
that.
almost 200 pounds.
100 pounds.
Yeah, so
Wow, man, see? How big?
Wow.
Can you
My
imagine
dog.
that's her?
Miss
there
Mary
you
Lou,
go.
she mentioned a while ago, like when she was starting to work at the gym, that was the time she was gaining a little more weight. Was that normal? Like, you know, you work with athletes. Do you also hear the same stories? Like, you know, when they started sports or like
Yeah.
working out, they gained a little more weight than.
I'm not too sure what she's talking about gaining because there's two factors with that. I can relate because I'm in a fitness
Yeah.
industry also, and actually the muscle, as we know, is heavier than
The
fat.
mass.
Yes.
The
Okay,
mass
the
of
mass,
the
the
muscle,
mass.
right? So I think what she's talking about more is her schedule. She's so busy and she's not right. Like you're not having time.
That's
to
always
really
been
eat
the
well.
alibi of somebody who really wants to lose
the
some
first
weight.
excuse
That's
that
always
they-
alibi.
yeah.
Oh, because I'm busy. That's why I gain
Yeah,
weight.
busy, yes.
I
And
don't
you're
have time for
alive.
exercise.
Yeah, the
you know.
stress really producing a fat hormones.
Yes.
Okay.
So that,
Oh,
yeah,
very
that's
important.
a big thing.
Can you say it again? Stress produces
Producing
some
a
fat
lot of
hormones.
hormones.
Okay.
So we gotta take time for ourselves. Our wealth is our health. So we have to make sure that, like what she's doing now, in the morning we prepare, like the organization, ourselves first. We can't able to help out others if we don't help ourselves. We have to be a good example. So in that, you know, our food is number one, really. We have a saying in the fitness that, you know, you can work and turn your face blue in there, and then you come home and eat bad food and eat, you know, those kind of things. So there's a lot of factors with, you know, keeping yourself healthier, especially with, you know, athletes. They have to, I mean, the food really is number one also.
I have a lot of friends also before that when we were in high school, we were really active, and then right when we graduated, we all got bigger.
Making stagnant.
Yeah,
you know.
because we're used to eating a lot of calories, consuming a lot of calories, but at the same time, we had a lot of activities back then as well.
You know what? I love this segment. I love when I was listening to you. I can relate because you know I own a spa. I was just relating to her. I own a spa, a high-end spa, and that is one of my biggest. I'm not just a sports injury. I'm an entrepreneur, and also I have a passion to educate people how to eat well, because especially in the United States we have so many processed foods.
There you go.
And we have
That's
so
true.
many chemicals. 25 years ago, when I was in California, I got hospitalized from chemical sulfides. It's one of the ingredients in thousands of our food.
Wow.
And that's, I mean, we have a great genes, cells, survival cells that it's lasting about 10 to 15 years.
Right.
Later on, the disease will come up from those bad chemicals in our food. So,
Yeah, it's very important that, you know, people are really educated about, you know,
Yes.
all these kinds of
Right.
stuff.
Yes.
diba?
But we have a texter from cell phone number ending at 6987, Doctora.
Yes.
This question is for Miss Rica.
Like, what kind of meals do you eat? It's from Makati.
Makati. And another question, maybe later on, yeah. The first question is, what kind of food do you eat? Because they saw you in television, the 60-pound weight that you carry, and now you're a very attractive
And actually,
Rica.
even not just her weight, I think even her image,
Yes.
Right.
the image really changed. Like from the time you were 60 pounds heavier, you looked very different.
Yes.
Did you?
I mean, yes.
Are you enrolled in
Yes.
Victoria Abraham image?
No, but maybe I should be a scholar because I'm an example.
Well, there's a lot of
Coming from an
you know.
image consultant, what can you
Yes.
say about how she looked before and now? Not just the weight.
Losing some weight is not only, okay, you're going to look beautiful when you lose some weight, but that's not it. We don't know how to because of course you have to change your
How about
wardrobe.
Yes,
Dressing
well,
up,
like
you
since
know.
we're talking about health, like Rica and Marilu, in image you basically think also of the mental health.
Of
in
course,
terms
of course.
The only way that you can project a good image is basically what's inside you. So
Right.
it's not just, it's really not
Yes.
just about being physically healthy, but
Right.
also mentally healthy.
Mentally healthy.
So
Yes.
that's why in Rica, it's so nice to see her because, you know, that the mental state of somebody who is basically 200 pounds down, reduced to maybe let's like 120 now. It's very definitely it's a very different thing, and this is where image consultants come in.
Okay.
Because basically that's what we do. We help them understand that from that big, from a bigger size to smaller size.
Right.
We coach them and understanding, and I like what I see in Rica, that she's been able to
haven't
do
seen
it.
this picture.
Rica, from our
Okay.
texture, what kind of food?
Basically what I said, planning is really important. Actually, when I met Marilyn, when she came in, she also had
Lunchbox.
So that's really what you should do. So it doesn't really matter what you eat, it's the amount of what you eat. And when you eat it, it's the timing of it. And of course, you get rid of like mga preservatives. Food. Yeah, usually I cook my food. So I buy it at
But
its
you
raw
know what
state.
you're
yeah, and I
eating
know what
talaga.
I'm putting in my food.
Oh, that's
Because there's
Yes.
like
important.
Very
yeah.
Very
important.
important. You cook your own food.
Yes.
But before anything else, we have a hanging question here from a cell phone number ending at 7591, Doctora.
For a working person, 9 hours a day, anong ma-advise nyo sa workout? Kasi wala na talaga akong time mag-gym. Pero before we answer
So
that.
that, and we will post for a few
that.
reminders
Yes.
when WhatsApp Talk returns.
Curves by liposuction. Non-surgical treatment of varicose veins. Janssen Cosmetic Surgery by Dr. John Seneca.